Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a news edition on Canal Algérie. These are the headlines. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, chaired a meeting of the High Security Council to review key national security issues. The Ministry of the National Defense has unveiled the National Information Systems Security Strategy for 2025-2029, aimed to protect state institutions and national bodies from cyber threats. In Rudinnas Elizi, the agricultural sector is seeing strong growth. Sunflower and cereal projects backed by investment in irrigation, energy and road infrastructure are driving this momentum. Welcome back. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces and Minister of the National Defense, chaired this Tuesday a meeting of the High Security Council in Algeria. As part of the efforts to protect state institutions and national bodies from cyber threats, the Information Systems Security Agency at the Ministry of National Defense has published the National Information Systems Security Strategy for the year 2025-2029. This first edition was approved by the President of the Republic, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces and Minister of the National Defense, Abdelmajid Tebboune. The strategy provides a comprehensive framework designed to strengthen national cyber resilience and safeguard the state's digital infrastructure and data. It also aims to protect citizens from the growing threats emerging in cyberspace while supporting the acceleration of digital transformation across all state institutions. In addition, the document sets out a clear roadmap to preserve national digital sovereignty, ensuring the continuity of essential public services and reinforcing public confidence in the country's digital environment. Citizens may consult the key points of the 2025-2029 National Information Systems Security Strategy via the dedicated link available on the website of the Ministry of the National Defense at mdn.gz. The National Military Cross-Country Team arrived Monday night at Hawari Boumediene International Airport, following an outstanding performance at the 60th edition of the International Military Sports Council World Cross-Country Championship, held in Trikala in Greece. Algeria secured the first place in the team standings worldwide and finished second in the individual competitions. The delegation was received by the head of the Military Sports Service at the Employment and Training Department of the General Staff of the People's National Army. On this occasion, the Army General, Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defense and Chief of Staff of the People's National Army extended his warmest congratulations to the military sports delegation for these commendable results, wishing the athletes continued success and many achievements ahead in upholding Algeria's reputation on the international level. In line with the partnership between Sonalgaz and Nigelec, a delegation of experts visited Algeria to learn about Sonalgaz's services and attend a 3-week training program in Adrar to transfer technical expertise to Nigerian engineers. Najah Tayar.
As part of strengthening the bilateral cooperation between Algeria and the Republic of Niger, Nigerian engineers are undergoing intensive training at Sonalgaz Services Engineering Training School in Adrar province to operate and maintain the power plants Algeria will deliver in Niger. The initiative strengthens the bilateral cooperation in energy and renewables, reinforcing energy security and building sustainable technical capacity.
We sincerely thank Algeria for the warm welcome. We are undergoing a 20-day training in Adrar on mobile turbines to be installed at our Niamey power plant. We are truly delighted with this partnership and hope it exceeds our expectations in a positive direction, benefiting all parties and opening up promising prospects for the future.
With a strategic focus on reinforcing Niger's electricity grid and transferring high-level technical expertise, Cooperation between Algeria and Niger is entering a new phase of accelerated expansion and deepened partnership.
Today, the directives of President Abdelmajid Tebboune are being implemented through the strengthening of energy cooperation between Algeria and Niger, marking the activation of the third phase of the project. A delegation of experts from Sonalgaz has traveled to Niamey to assess field conditions ahead of the construction of 40-megawatt power generation plant.
The energy cooperation between Algeria and Niger is entering a key phase with strategic impact extending beyond both countries to the wider African continent.
Turning now to Élysée, emerging as a strategic agricultural hub, the Rhodonos region stands out, showing significant growth in recent years. Investments in corn, sunflower and cereal farming projects are driving both quality and quantity improvements. Rania Al-Bahri.
In order to reduce imports and achieve food self-sufficiency, the government has focused in recent years on developing large-scale farming, particularly in Rhodonos region of Burj Omar Idris in Élysée province. On the ground, cultivated areas are increasing significantly and yields are improving.
Our project includes the installation of 43 centers pivot irrigation systems. This year we have planned for 15 of them dedicated to strategic crops, including 11 for durum wheat. We aim to increase the cultivated area as we have not yet reached our target. This year we reached 1,000 hectares with a goal of reaching 2,000 hectares and perhaps even more. Regarding strategic crops, we produce corn and other varieties. We have also introduced sunflowers with the aim of integrating them into the industrial sector. Several investors have committed to cultivating large agricultural areas.
This momentum is part of the state's ongoing support for strategic crops through technical assistance, on-the-ground monitoring and the implementation of support mechanisms designed to encourage increased production and the expansion of cultivated areas.
The support includes drilling, energy, fertilizers and seeds. Thank God the state is fully assuming its role by providing investors with the necessary resources.
Thus, the expansion of strategic crops in Burj Omar Idris strengthens national production capacity and marks a further step towards achieving food security.
The situation in Morocco is worsening following widespread demolitions of private properties. Authorities are now targeting schools, depriving children of their right to accessible education. Najah Tiyar with more details.
As floods ravaged northern Morocco, local communities mobilized with limited resources to clear the roads amid what they describe as a lack of effective official response. Instead of supporting relief efforts, authorities are accused of escalating pressure through demolitions targeting homes, businesses and now schools.
We want our children to study. We didn't have the opportunity to study ourselves. I'm 35 years old, and at my time, this school didn't even exist. Today, our children are still young, and we want them to have a better future, but they are neglected. As the teacher comes only once or twice a week, how can they learn properly?
Already deprived of education, these marginalized communities are also facing continuous water cuts.
They cut off our water and told us the entire region is not supplied, yet people live here. There are schools and mosques. Where were you when they cut off the water? You were not here. They interrupted the supply from Saturday, Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. We are marginalized, a working class struggling daily to survive. People here are exhausted and broken by hardships. Some do not even have food.
While advancing their territorial development agenda, the authorities are accused of sidelining and neglecting the very people affected by these policies.
Back to Algeria with the launch of the African University Theatre on Tuesday. The ceremony was presided over by the Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research, accompanied by Secretary of State to the Minister of Foreign Affairs in charge of African Affairs. The initiative aims to enrich universities' cultural atmosphere as it coincides with the month of Ramadan, strengthening family spirit in the dorms and campus, which are homes to nearly 568,000 students. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of this news edition. Thank you very much for watching Canal Algérie. Stay tuned.